I'm Justin Pritchard from Motoring TV. This is the new Hyundai Santa Cruz, and in this video,
I'm going to give you a wintry road test and review of this new for 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz while using the Ford Maverick as a sort of baseline. I spent 1,500 kilometers driving each of these machines in nearly identical conditions and on nearly identical roads. Now I'll put them beside each other to give you the best impression possible of their key strengths, weaknesses, similarities, and differences to one another when it comes to winter driving and touring right here in Northern Ontario. But first, let's meet the machinery. Both of the testers I'm showing you represent generously equipped models with generous price tags to match. My Maverick FX4 with non-hybrid 2-liter turbocharged gasoline power and all-wheel drive was priced in the low 40s, and it's the better part of $45,000 for this Santa Cruz Ultimate loaded as she goes. Maverick starts in the 20s with a fuel-sipping front-drive hybrid configuration, while Santa Cruz goes the premium route, starting in the preferred trim grade at $38,006. Note that my Maverick tester is running Falken Wild Peak tires, a winter-rated all-terrain, while my Santa Cruz is on dedicated winter rubber from Continental. The difference that makes in driving conditions like these is very significant, especially when it comes to stability at highway speeds and braking performance on snow and ice. Let's see if this thing starts up at 30 below. If it had a block heater, I didn't use it, so... Santa Cruz runs a single-engine option, a 2.5-liter Turbo 4, good for 281 horsepower and 311 pounds of torque. The Maverick's standard hybrid engine does 191 horsepower and comes front-wheel drive, while this tester's 2-liter Turbo 4 makes 250 horses and 277 pounds of torque. That's Santa Cruz in the lead for performance and acceleration. The Santa Cruz can tow 5,000 pounds, the Maverick maxes out at 4,000 pounds, though it's the Maverick with the longer box, 4.5 feet to the Santa Cruz's 4.3. The Santa Cruz has some hidden storage beneath the bed, the Maverick doesn't. I couldn't give you a full demonstration on my tester using my cameras because, well, Mother Nature got in the way. After a few days of heavy snow, and then rain, and then a deep freeze, the tonneau cover latch and mechanism were frozen solid, so to avoid breaking anything, I'll show you this B-roll instead. The Santa Cruz has more headroom but less rear seat legroom than the Maverick, and elsewhere key measurements are fairly similar. Point is, neither of these machines is head and shoulders better than the other when it comes to interior volume and passenger space. Dimensions aside, I think it's the interior design where shoppers will find the biggest difference between these two machines. In the Maverick, I did wish for some more upscale materials in some areas, and complained of some control interfaces and button consoles that were looking a bit dated. Still, I think it's Maverick with the more easy-to-use infotainment system of the pair, and an interior that quickly communicates signature truck-styling elements to its driver. The Santa Cruz takes the fully opposite approach. Now, this cabin is more sleek, modern, minimal, and clean, a unique and distinctive take on a more modern design. The thing is, nothing, and I mean nothing in here looks truck-like. There are no rugged design cues, no chunky dials and controls. Everything is smooth and sleek and very car-like. In the Maverick, you feel like you're sitting in a little truck. In the Santa Cruz, you don't. Now that may be exactly what you want for the interior of your pickup, but given what I'd call the more impressive exterior styling of the pair, I was hoping for something more exciting and rugged from the Santa Cruz's interior design. You walk up to a sporty truck with a capable stance and big presence, but when you sit down and take the wheel, it's more like an upscale car. So if you want a pickup interior that feels like a pickup interior, the Maverick is the better choice, and if not, the Santa Cruz has you covered. Just note that you will have to control more of the Santa Cruz's functions using a touchscreen interface, which can be a bit of a pain with gloves on. That interface is one of several where the Santa Cruz demonstrates more seamless integration of various controls into their more modern surroundings. There are even turn signal cameras that pop into action in the instrument cluster, a sort of digital lane change check for when you signal. So ultimately, I think we could call the Santa Cruz the styling leader of this pair. And on performance, it is a really impressive machine. Big torque, big power, and in some situations it's maybe even a little much. It's highly responsive in city driving with plenty of jam in reserve for passing and merging. If you're hoping for a small truck with plenty of power, I think you'll be quite happy with how this performs. The Maverick doesn't match the Santa Cruz for power output, but it's absolutely no slouch. I prefer the sound and character of the Maverick's engine. To me, smoother, more pleasant more of the time, and nicer to listen to when you get it working hard. I found the engine, transmission, and driveline in the Ford to have the more polished and refined feel in more situations. More on that in a bit. Add in what I would tell you is a sharper and sportier feel of the controls, specifically an athletic steering feel and an eager ride and handling equation that feels carefully calibrated to be comfortable but also pleasingly responsive. And I think the Santa Cruz is the hot rod of this pair, but the Maverick is the more pleasing driving machine. And the Maverick's powertrain feels more on the ball more of the time in deep snow and challenging conditions. There's less wasteful wheel spin even without the winter tires on. And in situations where the Santa Cruz holds on to high engine revs or lights up a tire or two when moving from snow to pavement under heavy throttle, the Maverick works with less drama. These are subtle differences, but I think you'll find the Ford demonstrates superior calibration and integration of its various driveline systems and engine to make better use of the hardware equipped. It's a little bit more of a premium polished feel dialed right into the DNA of the drive. The Maverick can do some clever rear axle torque vectoring that helps drag a single rear wheel as a pivot point to shrink the turning circle in deep snow. That mitigates the tendency of all-wheel drive vehicles to plow wide while you're making a tight turn at low speed in a foot of powder. In that same setting, you'll find the Santa Cruz likes to push a little wider and needs more room to steer. Maverick and Santa Cruz both handle this sort of driving with less noise and harshness than most crossovers available today. Both trucks feel dense, solid, durable, and remain quiet under fire, with suspension noise kept to a minimum. Both machines have steering systems that fight the negative feedback from rough roads, staying straight and smooth in your hands while bumps and potholes and frost heaves pass beneath. In this type of driving, the Santa Cruz's ride is smoother and softer, and the suspension feels like it's making better and more controlled use of its entire range of travel. The Maverick's rough road ride is sportier, a little busier and more abrupt at times, but it feels even more dense and solid beneath you. The point is that aside from some character differences dialed into the drive, both machines can cover rough ground quickly without stressing out their occupants. So if I was buying one of these, I would probably go with the Maverick. I'd miss some of the Santa Cruz's features, tech, and power output, and I much prefer the way it looks. Still, to me, the character dialed into the way the Maverick drives, and the slightly more polished powertrain performance in heavy winter conditions made a stronger connection. End of the day, here are two very worthy choices, and having to choose between the two is a pretty good problem to have.
Thank you for watching. My name's Justin Pritchard from Motoring TV, and until next time, take care and drive safe.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.